going to ensure our future economic prosperity. That's something I think we share in common with our mayor, turning this into a world-class city and a world-class region. And that's my segue, folks, which I get to introduce Mayor Johnson. He's been a tremendous friend to our campus. His For Art's Sake project just a while ago in June drew a standing room only crowd to the University Theater. He's made education a pillar of his action plan for Sacramento. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Kevin Johnson.
Joe, thanks for your remarks. Please thank President Gonzalez as well for everything that you guys do in our community. We're so proud. So let's make some noise for Sac State. So what I want to do is just really quickly, we are here because we think we have an opportunity with this Greenwise initiative to be a leader in the country. Bar none. That is the goal. We want to transform Sacramento into the Emerald Valley, where we're a leader nationally when it comes to green. We want to be a hub when it comes to clean technology. That's big, that's bold. And part of what we're trying to do with this initiative is convene leaders, just like we're doing now. All of you folks are playing such an important role in our community and have been doing important work for over a decade. But if we can all get in the same room and learn from each other and coordinate, align, and leverage what we're doing, we're going to be that much stronger and that much closer to attaining this goal. So this is what this initiative is about. We're working on an action plan. Julia will talk about it a little bit later. But at the end of this initiative, we want a shared vision for our region. It will not happen if it's just the city of Sacramento. It will not happen if it's West Sacramento. It will not happen if it's Roseville and all the Rancho Cordova, all the 22 cities that make up our 6-county region. If we do not figure out how to do this together, then we will not attain that goal. They're talking about it at the White House. They're saying they will fund regional efforts. Mayor Newsom, when he comes up and talks, he'll talk about his breakthrough moment is when he started connecting the dots from a regional perspective. So Sacramento, we're primed to be a leader in this area. So we've got to think big and bold. The other thing I want to do really quickly before I bring up our speakers, we have some sponsors that have sponsored this initiative. And we would not be able to put on this event had it not been for these sponsors. So if you wouldn't mind, just give them a quick round of applause. So last month we had Van Jones here. The month before we had a 16-year-old student named Alex Lors from Los Angeles, did a great job fighting climate and global warming. We had the governor and the first lady here. So we've had a host of really good speakers that have come and shared. And the one thing that Van Jones said that I think is important to reiterate, he says Sacramento is a leader. You're already a leader. You need to own it. So it doesn't do us any good if we're leading and we don't realize our potential. We've got to own it. I mean, we are already #1 in job growth over the last 12 years, 87% growth. San Francisco is leading the way today, but over 12 years, we're #1. We're 8th in the country in lead construction. San Francisco's 6th. Dang it. Who wrote these talking points? I'm going to skip all the PSAs for San Francisco here. Van Jones also said, now's the time to really dream big. Don't waste your time, Sacramento, in thinking small. That's not going to get us where we need to be. And I think we've all subscribed to that as well. The last point that Van Jones said that I think is important, he said, you need to build a table. You need to build a table where there's chairs for everyone sitting around that table. We will not be successful in this initiative if we do not bring the least among us and everyone to have a seat at the table so they're participating in this initiative. That's what we mean by social justice. Everyone has to participate, and that's our commitment. So when you look around the room, you see the diversity. You see young people here. You see kids that are at Sac State. You see people that are going to be installers and doing retrofitting buildings. The green economy is important in terms of, yes, the environment, but the triple bottom line: people, profit, and planet. We've got to make sure we create jobs that are living wage jobs, medium wage, high wage. And I think Gavin Newsom, the mayor of San Francisco, is going to talk about that in a way that I think we'll all appreciate. So without any further ado, let me give you 2 quick highlights before I bring up the mayor. This is a housekeeping item. On September 30th, if you can mark your calendar, September 30th, our next speaker is going to be Tom Friedman. You got it? So Tom Friedman, Pulitzer Prize, obviously you know all the books that he's written, columnist for the New York Times, but he's going to be in Sacramento and talking about our community, our region, and what we need to do. So that'll be September 30th at the Crest Theater from 9:30 to 11:30. So again, we had to move the venue already, so I'm going to encourage you to RSVP as quickly as you can. That will be a very special presentation. And then at the end of the program, we're going to have Jeff from the Sac News and Review. Where's Jeff at? We'll do this at the end of the program after the mayor speaks, because he has a special presentation for the team leads. Mayor Gavin Newsom came to Sacramento today to share with us some of the milestones and some of the best practices in terms of what they've done in San Francisco. And I think most of you know, for 10 years, San Francisco has been a leader under his leadership when it comes to being one of the greenest cities in the country. And it does take leadership at the mayor level to make that happen. And you know, Mayor Newsom has done an unbelievable job in terms of doing that. Before I got elected mayor, he was one of the mayors that I sought out, and I went down and spent time with him. And you know, he told me a couple very important things. One was, you know, as a leader of a city, you've got to bring the region together. And if you can figure out a way to bring the region together, your city and every other city will benefit tenfold. Without that, you won't reach the potential ultimately that you want to do. He said Sacramento's primed for that. The other thing, he said, don't be limited by a city's budget. You know, a lot of times dollars will dictate what you can and cannot do. He said, no, innovation and good ideas will drive what you can and cannot do. He said, so if you have to do initiatives on the outside, if you build good ideas, money and people will follow. So don't ever be limited by a city's budget. And I think he's certainly been a champion when it comes to that community in San Francisco. He had a quick stint where he was running for governor and decided to run for lieutenant governor. I know I wasn't supposed to poke fun at him, but since I've been talking about all the great things you're doing, I want you to know the reason why he dropped out the governor's race had nothing to do with Jerry Brown. It was the fact that my luggage got stolen in San Francisco. And it became a public safety nightmare for the We were on CNN, and he's calling me, what the? All these 4-letter words, and I told him I thought it would be a good human interest story. He said, that's not what's happening. So I am the reason why Gavin Newsom is no longer running for governor. Let me say this, and we'll bring up the mayor. You know, when you think about what they're doing in San Francisco, the recycling bins, you'll see people riding bikes everywhere in San Francisco because of his leadership. They have the largest city-owned solar installation in the country. They have farmers market that, you know, set the bar very high for everyone around the country. He has to leave here once he gets finished with his remarks to go down to Treasure Island. He'll be doing an event with Speaker Pelosi and Senator Feinstein, and something that has been in the works for 40 years. The naval world is transferring that property to the city. And the city is going to do the largest, most significant green infill project in the history of the United States. So we got to give them a round of applause. All right, so let me say this. Not only does Gavin talk the talk, he knows I'm going to get him on this one. Not only does he talk the talk, he also walks the walk. They decreased the carbon footprint. He switched his vehicle to a hybrid vehicle, so he's a hybrid vehicle. I copy him. I have one just like it outside now. A lot of you know that he has switched his petroleum-based hair gel for natural. Let's give it up.